Welcome back to another TBN review. I'm Anthony from the Beta Network, and this is Should You Play Zombie Army 4? I must admit, I've never actually played any of the games in this series before, and it's safe to say that, well, I thought Zombie Army 4 was gonna be hot garbage, especially on the Nintendo Switch. But lo and behold, I honestly ended up having a lot more fun than I thought. I mean, it is as straightforward as video games get. Shoot some zombos, shoot more zombos, and finally, shoot zombos. Too complicated, I know. But all things considered, the campaign itself does contain a surprisingly decent amount of content, and the Horde mode is no slouch either. Plus, both modes can also be played solo or co-op with up to 4 friends, either online or through local wireless. However, there is no split screen option, which is a bit of a shame. In regards to the campaign, the game lets players control one of several uniquely powered operatives on a mission to take down Hitler's undead army. Again. Of course, this is an absolutely bonkers premise with zero substance, and it'll most likely be forgotten about a minute after the credits roll. Albeit, the story's not what we're here for. Zombie Army 4 is all about that survival gameplay and getting those sweet X-ray kill cam shots. Hilariously satisfying. You know how these games are. Conserve and scavenge for resources, upgrade equipment, and use the environment to your advantage, aka explode all the red barrels. We've seen this survival style of play a bajillion times before, and the game is pretty monotonous in terms of running through levels from one basic objective to the next. Although, Zombie Army 4 features some simple yet effective aspects that help make it pop. The different types of items, in particular the bait grenade, works as a great tool to lure in large groups of zombies as you tear them to shreds with other weapons. Whereas the various traps like the electric shock wires or the music playing loudspeakers that tempt zombies to walk to their explosive demise are an abundance of entertainment and strategy. Players can also make use of attachments for various elemental effects, a chargeable knife strike, slow motion to casually pick off enemies, and a one-shot takedown attack that restores health and looks mighty fancy. The latter only being available after 10 foes are killed in quick succession, which is a smart way of encouraging players to stay on the offensive. And you will need the health, as some of the more threatening zombies like the suiciders and flamethrower guys can be quite tricky to deal with at times, even on medium difficulty. Thankfully, their power can be used against them, since you can carefully explode suiciders when crowds start to gather, or pick up a flamethrower zombie's weapon when defeated for big time damage. Very well designed systems there. What isn't as polished are the controls on Nintendo Switch. The general feel of the movement, aiming, and gyroscope work perfectly fine. The only problem is, sometimes one of the Joy-Cons would lock up during an encounter for no apparent reason and leave me stranded like a sitting duck with tomato sauce on top. I tried out several of my controllers with other games just to make sure I wasn't unfairly criticizing Zombie Army 4, but the issue only ever happened while I was playing this game. It was nothing a quick Joy-Con reset couldn't fix, although it did occur every 30 minutes. So yeah, good excuse if you're ever killed early in an online match. Speaking of online though, I wasn't able to test out the multiplayer features, but my solo sessions ran at a solid 30 FPS on Nintendo Switch. Even when tackling the ever-growing threats and expanding maps of Horde mode, I hardly noticed any frame drops at all. The graphics on Switch aren't half bad either, with only a few odd-looking textures here and there. Is that supposed to be fire or Fanta? I don't know. I mean, this is a Nintendo console we're talking about here, but in my opinion, it does get the job done regardless. Switch players can also bring across their save data from the Steam version of Zombie Army 4 and download the Season 1 Pass for free, which includes additional levels and a selection of cosmetics and weapon packs. Season Pass 2 and 3 are slated for release on launch day. So, should you play Zombie Army 4? Well, if you're not sick to death of zombie media and just want to turn your brain off and mindlessly shoot things, then give it a whirl. Zombie Army 4 is the gamiest video game I've reviewed in quite some time, but it actually ended up being more entertaining than I thought it would be. While the flow of gameplay is as one note as it gets, and the story is a complete waste of time, Zombie Army 4 still features an amusing 10 to 12 hour campaign and horde mode that's best experienced in short bursts. Guys, make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already, as we release videos like this each and every week. And be sure to check out thebetanetwork.net for my full written review on Zombie Army 4.